Look, let's not pretend here. I know you've been waiting for this one for a long time. Let's check out the brand new Epiphone DG-335. I could have opened the video up with "we've been waiting ever long" as well, but I felt that first pun was much better, and I do promise that's probably the last Foo Fighters pun I will make in this video, because let's focus on this brand new guitar from Epiphone. This is the DG-335 in Pelham Blue. DG, of course, standing for Dave Grohl, the frontman of the Foo Fighters. Almost said Nirvana there. He was the drummer of Nirvana. But this is the Epiphone version of his signature model that he's been playing for a long time. Now, there was a Gibson model of this that's still really, you know, popular in the second-hand market, because it's the only place that you can really get it these days. Because a lot of fans, certainly of the band and of Dave Grohl, this has become almost quite iconic. You know, as much as he's such an icon in the sort of rock sphere, his guitar is super iconic for him as well, because it's been the model that he's been playing for many years at this point. Of course, based off of a Trini Lopez 335 with that headstock there and those diamond F-holes. Do you call them an F-hole if they're still that shape?
D-hole?
You can't say that. Jokes aside, let's jump into some specs of this guitar. All the sounds you're going to be hearing today are through our Supro Black Magic amp. That's running through my pedal board, which has got a couple of different overdrives and distortions and delays, including a Nobels ODR1, Friedman BEOD, and I've got a little bit of a kind of tape delay as well that I'll incorporate with some lead sounds later. They're both, well, they're all mic'd up with two Shure mics, which is a Shure SM57 and a KSM 32. So let's just dive right into some specs of this guitar, and then we'll hear some sounds a little bit later in the video. So starting with the body, as I mentioned, semi-hollow 335 Trini Lopez style here, with those diamond sound holes just on either side of the body. The top and the back and sides are made out of laminated maple, so the guitar is actually a little bit more bright than you would expect from a standard 335, which is made out of mahogany. It has a set neck, which is actually mahogany as well, with 22 frets on an Indian laurel board, and they've also got these diamond inlays here, well, the split diamond inlays, which I think look really cool on this particular guitar, obviously just adding to the motif. Now, the neck is something that I do want to spend a little bit of time on just here as well, because it's actually a really chunky C shape on here. It's considered the elliptical C by Epiphone, if anyone's tried that, but it's a proper chunky neck, especially kind of up the low end or the top end, depending on what sort of words you use to describe your guitar neck here. But it feels really substantial, and certainly I've not got the biggest hands in the world, and it sort of, you know, I can feel a little bit of strain against my thumb trying to get round there, but certainly it's still really comfy if you do want to play something like that. Certainly for more old school sort of Gibson and Epiphone fans, I think you'll really relish in this big old chunky neck. Mentioned before, the Trini Lopez style Firebird headstock on there as well, and actually on the back is the Dave Grohl signature, as well as on the front of the hard case that this comes in. Now let's move just down back to the hardware of this guitar here. There's not really that many frills on it, but we're checking out the pickups of this guitar. It's loaded with two Gibson USA Burstbuckers bridge and a neck, obviously, for there, with a three-way selector and a master tone and volume for each one of them, with, you know, no push pulls or anything. Before we get to the sounds, I'll let you just hear the pickups on a clean tone just now, just starting on our bridge here. on in the middle. You can see a little peek behind the curtain here as well, because the little pickup cover has decided to act up. So let me get rid of that before I move on to our next sound. So really sort of standard sort of Gibson setup with this, not really any frills, any push pulls as I mentioned there. You've just got your three-way selector between those great sounding USA pickups. And in all honesty, that kind of covers it with this guitar. I think Dave Grohl puts it best in a lot of interviews. He doesn't really approach guitar as a traditional guitarist. He kind of looks at it more, funnily enough, as a drum kit, him being a drummer beforehand. That I think he just wants it as simple as possible and just to be able to bash out songs when you need to, which I think this guitar is absolutely perfect for. So why don't we hear it with some slightly different tones and see just what it's capable of. those sounds there showed you just what the DG-335 can cover. Now certainly it's quite a warm and surprisingly bright as well, because it is made out of maple sounding guitar. You're certainly not able to get any of those like spanky clean tones out of this, but I think if you EQ'd it right enough, you can get like a really quite sparkly clean tone certainly out of that middle position there. But what I think is really nice about this guitar is obviously not only for Foo Fighters fans or Dave Grohl fans able to get the signature model at a bit of a reduced price from what the Gibson was, and this is a really, really well built guitar. It really feels quite substantial in my hands, and I've certainly liked sort of battering away on it the same way that maybe Dave would as well. But I think, as I said, any fans of the Foo Fighters or him will get on with this, but also somebody who's maybe looking for slightly different when it comes to a 335 style guitar. With the maple body and the maple top there, you're getting a slightly different tone characteristic. And the fact that it's loaded with proper USA Gibson pickups as well just means that, that sort of the sounds that you're hearing just directly from the pickups, they're going to be on parallel with any of the USA Gibson stuff. And certainly that neck, as I mentioned, I think a lot of people will really gravitate towards this. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you really excited to see this new Epiphone join the ranks of their artist signature models? Let us know down in the comments. And while you're there, give us a like and give us a subscribe if you have liked the video at all. But until next time, I've been Keiran, and this is the brand new Epiphone Dave Grohl DG-335 in Pelham Blue. Have a great day.